Masechta Sanhedrin that pay dollar of an olive was starting from Pegim with base 2 lines from the bottom. In the Mishnah, we had learned amongst those cases, those that are chayv misas bezdin, and then there are those cases that you're not. And we're starting now. Aval orel oinen, orel that had served in the base of Mikdash, or orel is uncircumcised oinen, or a person's close relative had died that day, a kohen's relative, and he serves in the base of Mikdash, or yeshiv, or he serves while sitting. He doesn't get misa only about his he's only over on a lav. How do we know Arel is forbidden to do Avidim in the Mikdash? This we did not learn from Teres Mesha from the Chamisha Torah. Achi Baruch Cheskel Ben Buzi, only till the Navi of Yeches Ben Buzi has come Limdanu and taught us, which is in Yecheskel. Any person that's distant from Hashem, his Arel Lev, his heart is closed. The Arel Baso is somebody's uncircumcised. Should not come and serve me. From here we learn out that Kohen Arel is forbidden to enter into the Beis Hamikdash and to do the Aveda. When it says Ben Neicha Arel Lev is a Kohen Mummer, is a Kohen that despite goes against Hashem, and he serves idols. Okay, from where do we know that it's us for him to serve the Beis Hamikdash? So it says, but the guy a Kohen Gadol who's Einam min Hamikdash lo yetz v'lo yichal es Mikdash elehav. That even in a case where a Kohen Gadol's father and mother passed away, the Pasuk says he doesn't have to leave the Beis Hamikdash, only he can continue to do his Aveda, and his Aveda will not desecrate the Beis Hamikdash. But a regular kohen, a kohen headed, we imply from there, it's you're learning from the klal of kohen gadol that if it wasn't a kohen gadol, shelo yotze, and he's a oinen, and he did not leave the Beis Hamikdash, only he continued to serve as a oinen. Chilul, he has desecrated his avodah. Amalei avada. The avada said to Rav Menela, let us learn now the chil misvadei shemayim for oinen, with exein shavah chilul mitruma. That it's forbidden for a person who's tamid to eat truma, and it says lashon chilul, it says v'lo yichalal, and it says lashon chilul by oinen, who does the avidim in Beis Hamikdash, malahalam, just like one who eats truma betruma, a kohen who eats truma betruma, and truma betruma is b'misa b'dei shemai afkan. So too oinen that serves in the Beis Hamikdash. Why did the Mishnah, the Bryce have to say? Why the Bryce has say that he's, or learn out that he's only over in Allah, and then there's no Chiyuv Misa. In fact, the Yimana Miksiv, meaning the Yimana's answer, he cannot learn it out from the Gzeir because Miksiv Baby Gofei is, does it say Lashon Chilul by a Kohen Hedget itself, that is over, it serves the Beis Hamikdash while it's Oinan? Does it say the word chilul? Meklalakasi. You're learning it out from a kohen gadol. It says a kohen gadol should not leave while he's and he should continue to serve in the Beis Hamikdash. So to that you implied if it was a kohen hedron, he would have to leave. So having dava habam in a klal, this is something that's implied from a klal, something that's learned out from a klal. And we have a klal, the kol dav habam in a klal. Anything that's learned out from a klal ain't done nice b'gzei shover, cannot be used as part of the Gzeir Shavah. So if you want to yesh b'nalam, we don't even know if somebody is sitting, he's forbidden to serve the Beis Hamikdash. Amar Nachman Bakar says in the pasuk, "Kivei bach Hashem alekem kol shvuyatacha lamoid l'shareis b'shem Hashem." In him Hashem, your God, had chosen from all Yisratim to stand. It says lamoid, to stand and serve. Lamid b'char tevayit v'lei yeshiva. It was designated for standing to serve as standing and not sitting. So you see that if a kohen sits, he's not considered as nivcha, he's not considered as from the chosen ones, from all the shvatim, minit kahanim. Or maybe he has a din like a zar, if he's not considered from the nivcharim, from the kahanim, so he has a din like a zar, which is pasla aveda if he's doing it sitting. A kohen who's about mom, that's served in the Beis Hamikdash, Rebbe says he's chayv misa, and Chum say he's chayv Allah. My time, the Rebbe, what's the reason of Rebbe that he's chayv misa? Because by a kohen b'almum it says ach el hapareiches, only to the pareiches le'yavishin, and come well hamizbeich le'yigash into the mizbeich. He shouldn't come close to ki mumbai v'le'yichalas mikdashi, because he has a mum, and he shouldn't be mechal my migdash. He shouldn't desecrate my Beis Hamikdash. We learn out what Xer Shabbat Chila B'Truma. Says Lashon Chila by a Baal Mum who had served in the Beis Hamikdash. Says V'lo Yichalal, and says Lashon Chila by Eichel Truma. B'Truma by somebody who eats Truma B'Truma Ki Yichalalu Ma Lahalam B'Misa Avkam B'Misa. Just like one who eats Truma B'Truma is B'Chayv Misa B'Dei Shemayim, so too a kind who's a Baal Mum who had served in the Beis Hamikdash Misa B'Dei Shemayim. In fact, you might have a nail of Chila B'Neisa. Let us learn out Xer Shabbat Chila from Neisa, that's forbidden to eat Neisa. And Malahalam, just like one who eats Neisa because it's Chayiv because Avkan, so too a Kohen Baal Mum that served in the Beis Hamikdash is Bekaris. It's reasonable, more reasonable to say that they learn it out from Truma Shekain, because in both cases the kuf of the person is the person that was nifsel. The psul haguf and the psul haguf. So we learn out the psul haguf and the psul haguf by Isa Neisa. The one who's eating it is shenifsel v'loy guf shel adam. I'm sorry, by Neisa, not by Truma, by Neisa. The Neisa itself, the food itself, the chetz itself is tamei, is asur. Mashain can by a eichel v'truma and by a mum, it's both psulim in the guf of the person. Either he was tamei or either he's a mum. So the Gemara shlugs up. No, Adarabba. He should have learned out from Neisa Shekain, because the Yisurim are similar in 4 ways. Because both of them, it's L'Kodesh, it's Avitz HaKachim, to a Balmum, or the Noises from Kachim. So they're both talking about this Iser Benegeh to Kachim, that either he served in Kachim, or it was Noises from Kachim. Hashem Truma has nothing to do with Kachim. And then Pnim, they're both talking about the Hazara. Hashem Truma has nothing to do with the Beis Hamikdash. And then Gimel and Dalid, 3 and 4 is Pigel and Neisa. They both have a shaykhis to Pigel and Neisa. Sai Neisa, Sai Kohen serving the Beis Hamikdash, and Sai the Indian of Neisa versus Truma has no shaykhis to Pigel and Neisa. So the Gemara element, rather the Gemara says and accepts this upshlag that we cannot learn out from the Xer Shabbat element. Only we learn out from a Tameh that had served in the Beis Hamikdash. That there's a Chiyuv Misa B'Dei Shemayim B'Balmum that served from Tameh Sheshimish. What it was, Psul Guf and Psul Guf. So there, from a Tameh Sheshimish, it's better to learn out. Balmum is better to learn out from the Tameh Sheshimish than from Neisa, because Psul Guf and Psul Guf. Number one, they're both Psul Guf. And in addition, Kodesh, it's both, it has to do with Kachim, and Pnim, it's in the Hazara, and Pigul and Neisa is shaykh by both. So, Kodesh, Pnim, Pigul, so you learn out, Psul HaGuf, meaning Kodesh, Pnim, Pigul v'Neisa, Kodesh, Pnim, Pigul v'Neisa. Since the Isra Balmum that serves is similar to the Isa of a Tameh that serves in 5 ways. And by Benegeh to Neisa, it's only similar in 4 ways. So we learn now better from Balmum, because the additional 2, no, they're both equal. One is 4 ways and one is 5 ways. Tameh, if you're learning out a Balmum from Tameh, Shishimish, they're similar in 5 ways. But by Neisa, they're only similar in 4 ways. And since Balmum is Chayiv Misa B'Dei Shemayim, that's how we learn it out. So the Gemara said, Rabbanan who say about mum that was mishamish is not chayv misa b'dei shemayim. Why? Because Amakra, it says when they get to a kohen, or one who eats truma b'truma, it says meisu boy ki chalalu. It says the word boy. It's mashma dafke boy. Only if he eats truma, there's a chayv misa. Only who if he eats truma. Only if a tamid that eats truma, A kohen that eats tuma betuma is going to be chayv misa b'dei shemaim, not about mum sheshimish. Again, the learning out tamash sheshimish from tamash abamum from tamash sheshimish gama has one additional one that it's a psul guf from psul aguf. The others are the same. Kodesh pnim and pigul anesa and pigul v'nesa, they're both equal. That's 4. But the 5th one, when you learn out from tamash sheshimish beguf, has a 5th one that it's psul beguf and psul guf. That's why he learns out balmum from tamei that had eaten tuma. Okay, you want to hate Mila, somebody who was amazed at misappropriating the moment of Hagdish. Rabbi says, Chacham say it's only a lot my time. The Rabbi, what's the reason that Rabbi says Bemisa? I'm a Rabbi Avo, I'm a Gama Chet Metuma. We learn now that it's forbidden to eat Tuma because it says Lashon Chet. And by Meila it also says Lashon Chet. It says Nefesh, Kisimami, Ma'al, it says V'chotu B'shgogam. And it says Chet by Isa Tuma V'tuma, it says V'la Yisrael of Chet, U'meis B'ki Chalalo. Malo, how long, just like one who eats Tuma V'tuma, it's B'misa Afkan. So too, somebody who misappropriates Hagdish is B'misa. Rabbanan, who hold that Hagdish Nachai Misa, they say, Amakar, it says in the Pasuk when the Gay, Akayin who eats Tuma V'tuma, it says U'meis B'ay. It's mashma dafke boy only bachnis too many you're going to be chayv misa but like the mila. By mila you won't be chayv misa but you're going to be chayv alav. That's what Rashi brings down. That's all he's coming to exclude from the misa. Zosh shemish b'mikdash azot that had served in the Beis Hamikdash. Rabbi Akiva says b'chanek. Chacham says it's misa b'dei shamayim. Tanya we learned in the Brayso. Rabbi Yishmael Rabbi Yishmael says Nemakan. It says b'negei azot that had served. Azar of Yumas. Azar who comes and his makam, he shall die. Never the it says after the death of the Koirach and his man, it says Kol HaKarev Karev El Mishkan Hashem in Yamus. And we learn out with the Gzeiras Shava Yumas that says by Azar that it served from the word Yamus that it says by the men of Koirach who were killed. Malahalam just like by the 250 men who were burnt, they died b'dei shamayim. Afkan, so too, Azar sheshimish, Azar that serves in the Beis Hamikdash is chayv misa b'dei shamayim. Rabbi Akiva Eimen Hamakam Azar Karav Yumas. It says by Azar that served the Lashon Yumas. And then lahalam midigate a navi that encouraged people to serve Avodah Zarah. It says navi ahu aichelim achaloim ahu Yumas. He shall die. Malahalam just like by a navi that encourage people to serve Avodah Zarah. It says the Biskila, that is Chayv Skila Avkan, but I said that it's servant in the Beis Hamikdash, it's Biskila. Just like by a Navi that encouraged others to serve Avodah Zarah, he dies B'chanek Avkan, so to a Zarah that it's served in the Beis Hamikdash is going to be Chayv Chanek. What is Rabbi Yishmael and Rabbi Akiva arguing? Why does Rabbi Yishmael want to learn out from Yamos that says by Das Kairach, and Rabbi Akiva want to learn out from another Sheidich? Rabbi Akiva Sava Danin Yumas that says by Zar Sheshimish, by Zar that served from the word Yumas that says by a Navi that encourage others to sin. Vein Danin Yumas min Yamos. But you don't learn out Yumas from the word Yamos, which is not a similar word, which is said by the men of Keirach, the 250 men of Keirach. Rabbi Yishmael Sava, Danan Hedj Mehedjed. Rabbi Yishmael says we learn how to Hedjed the Zar Sheshimish from Adas Keirach, who's also Hedjed. They ain't Danan Hedjed Navi. But we cannot learn how to Hedjed from a Navi who's on a much higher status. Rabbi Akiva says, Kivan Sheidiyach, since the Navi was encouraging other people to serve Avodah Zarah, he lost his status of a Navi, and there's no greater Hedjed than a Navi that encourages people to serve Avodah Zarah. So you want my comment to Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Yechon Nuri. What is Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Yechon arguing? Both agree that we learn out the punishment of a Zar that had served from the punishment of Navi Sheidiyach. They're just arguing if a Navi Shehidich, that encourage us to sin. If they're arguing if it's skila or chanek. So what are they arguing about? The Reb Shimon and Rabbanan. They're arguing in the machlekes of Reb Shimon and the Rabbanan. So the Gemara Rabbanan, the Tanya that we learned in the Brayso, Navi the Hanavi that encourage others to serve Avodah Zarah b'skila. Reb Shimon even bechanek. Reb Shimon says it's bechanek. So Rabbi Akiva holds like the Chacham in the Brayso that a Navi that encourages to serve Avodah Zarah b'skila. Therefore, Rabbi Akiva holds even a Zar that it's served. He learns out with Exer Shavim from Navi Shehidiach, and that's skila. Rabbi Yochanan Nuri holds like Reb Shimon. And a Navi that encourages us to sin is bechanek, and therefore Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri learns Azar Sheshimish is also bechanek. So the Gemara asks on the Brayso that says in the name of Rabbi Akiva that Azar that serves is going to be chayv skila from the Gzeir Shavah not, but we learned before the Mishnah by Azar Sheshimish B'mikdash Rabbi Akiva bechanek. Rabbi Akiva says he's only bechanek, and the Gemara Trei Tanoi, the Mishnah and the Brayso two different Tanoim in Rabbi Akiva. The arguing in the din of Azar Sheshimish according to the Shita of Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Masnisa in our Mishnah that learns out that like Rabbi Shimon holds that another Sheidiach is bechanek. The Rabbi Akiva, he said his words according to the Shita of Rabbi Akiva who holds that we learn out the din of Zar that serves from the din of Navi Sheidiach, and therefore Rabbi Shimon says in our Mishnah that according to Rabbi Akiva, Azar Sheshimish has chanek. The Brayso, it follows the Rabbanan who hold that a Navi Sheidiach need miskila. The Aliba, the Rabbi Akiva, and they hold according also to according to the Shita of Rabbi Akiva that Azar Sheshimish has a din like a Navi Sheidiach, and therefore the Chacham there say in the Brayso according to Rabbi Akiva that Azar that had served gets the punishment of skila. We shall return to you. We're going to start now the next Perek to the next punishment of the Dal Mises Bezdin's Chanek. Zakti Mishnah Eloheinu Hanachnakim. This is the Perek. It's called Eloheinu Hanachnakim, which is the last Eloheinu Hanachnakim. These are the ones that are chayiv in Chanek. Hamakav, the one who hits his father or mother, beginning from nefesh yourself, somebody who kidnaps, v'zakim yid, v'zakim mamre alpi bezdin, a dayan who goes against the bezdin hagadol from the lish hagazis, and he doesn't follow their psak, or navi hasheker, a navi that lies and says things as if he received the nevuah from Hashem, and one who says Navi in the name of a getchke, one who lives with a married woman, Vazim Vaskayan, or Aiden that had testified about a Vaskayan that she was Eishes Ish, but she was Mizana, and these Aiden were Muzam. So even though the Baskayan's Chayiv Sefer, they get only Chenek, Ubayala. And the one that lived with the Baskayan, which is Eishes, so he also gets killed bechanek and not beseifa. And the Zayman get only like the man, but not like the woman. And we learn, how do we know that he only gets punished like the man, chanek, and not like the woman, which is a Baskayan seifa? So in Gemara Makis, they brought down the pasuk. It says, "Va'asisim loy kasher." Someone says la'achiv. We learn out la'achiv, not we do like to the brother, not to the man that lived with her, not to the woman. So Gemara Makis, what do we know if somebody hits a father, mother, that the mitzvah is chanek? It says in the pasuk Makei of v'imay meisumas, and the klal is whenever it says lashon misa, kol misa hamur about teira stam, any misa that says na teira stam, ain't ala b'chanek. Refers to Chenek. Perhaps say that the Torah was Mechai Misa only till he kills the father, and the Torah says that that we learn out when it says Heirik Stam, it's Misa B'Sayif. One who kills his father, Misas is B'Chenek. How do you know that the Teiz B'Chayiv, the son Chenek, even if the father didn't die because of his beating him, maybe over there he's only going to be Chayiv Sayif. I mean, you want to Salka Daidach, does it enter your mind, Shekat Lachad B'Sayif, that one who kills a stam person that's not his father, the Misa should be Cherev, which is a Misa Chamura. And somebody who kills his father, it should be Bechenek, which is a lighter Misa. Doesn't make sense. Surely from the Pasuk, when it says hitting the father without killing him, that Bistam Adam, he's not going to be Chaim Misa on just hitting him. Umaka Aviv is going to be Chaim Misa. Again, if it meant killing, maybe the pasuk means till he kills him. I don't need a pasuk to tell me that he's going to be chayiv chenek, because madach, if somebody kills any other person, we know he's chayiv b'sayif, he's chayiv b'cherev. If he kills his father, is he not going to be chayiv for sure? With the more hashem misa, you're going to give him only a lighter misa. So obviously, when the pasuk says maka avivim meis yumas, is not referring to somebody killing, because killing, I wouldn't give him such a lenient misa like chenek, which is even more lenient than sayif. So when the pasuk says that he's chayiv chenek, the lenient misa is obviously talking about that he didn't hit him to kill him. He hit him and the father survived. That's what we have to say the pasuk is referring to. That's only according to the Mandam that says chenek is more lenient. But according to the Mandam that says chenek is chama, what are you going to then say? Maybe it's talking about only after he killed him, and he's coming to tell you he gets a harsh misa of chenek. Says you want to from this that it says maki isba meis yumas. Or in hatred, he called by Yadei, he hit him with his hand by Yamis and he dies. So when the Pasuk is talking about a Makkah that kills, a Misa, which it says, we can imply any place where the Torah mentions Hakostam without mentioning Misa, La Misa has to be referring to a case that there was no Misa. Because from this that it says in the pasuk, "Makis b'meis," so in a place where it doesn't say b'meis is mashmas, we're talking about akar without misa. And since we already brought the Gemara brought the pasuk that talks about it, it's chayiv misa. So the Gemara is going to deal with it. Why do we need another pasuk that teaches us the same thing? It's lemislav, makeish, v'meis meis yumas. And the Yitzhak Michtav, and we also required to say, why do we need two psukim telling us the same thing? And the Gemara, if the Torah would have written only Makish V'Meis, I would have said Ish, only somebody who's 13 years old, and a day who is a Ish, he has this Simane Gadlus, the Bar Mitzvah, one who's Chaim Mitzvah, in Mitzvahs, he's Chaim for killing. But if it's cotton, what if it was a cotton that's not chayv misa? Chayv mitzvah is loy. He's not chayv misa. So I would have thought only if he kills a ish, then he's going to be chayv misa because he's about mitzvah. He's a man. But if he killed a cotton, which is not chayv mitzvah, I would have said he's not going to be chayv because that's why the potato rolled komak in nefesh. To teach us, even if he kills a cotton, he's going to be chayiv misa, and only ish is mashma gadol. But when it says nefesh, when it says lashon komak nefesh is mashma sai gadol sai cotton. Because achman komak nefesh, and if the Torah would have only written komak nefesh, I would have thought to say afilo the follow, even if he killed a navel. Vladis that are not going to exist for long. It's going to die right away, a nefel. So, Vafilo ben Shmeina, I would have thought even a Vlad that was born to the 8th month of the pregnancy, which is not a Bar Kayama, it's not an existing child that will last. that you're going to be chayiv for killing it misa tzicha. That's why I needed both psukim to teach us. One who kills a nefel or a vlad that was born to the 8th month of the pregnancy, he's potter because they're considered as dead. Somebody who kills a cotton which is not a bar mitzvah, he's going to be chayiv. Perhaps we should say Shavakov B'Ima is chenek afagav the loyavid bei chabura, even if he didn't make a wound, because he said that makkah that says in the pasuk by makkah is not a makkah's mavis. So maybe we're talking about any hakah, even one that doesn't make a chabura, a lamatran, even if it doesn't make a wound. Why do we learn later in the Mishnah makkah b'Ima he's not going to be chayiv only until he makes a wound? And the Gemara it says in the pasuk makkah mak behema. It says the pasuk makkah right next to mak behema. So we make a hekesh. We compare the two. Mak behema. You're not chayiv adi avid b'chabura until he makes a wound. It says nefesh mak nefesh behema yishamena, which implies dam. Meaning chabola, which there's a wound. So too by makkah aviv, he's not going to be chayiv misa for hitting his father at the Avad Chabura until he makes a Chabura wound. Masker, so the Gemara slugs up this dasha. Masker, only if so, if you can be learning out Makkah Nefesh from Makkah Behemish Hamana, says the Gemara, we know by Behema is you're learning out from Behema only if there's a Chabura. Well, we have a case. If he loaded up the Behema with stones, with a heavy load more than it's capable of holding, but he didn't do a chabura. Are you not going to be chayiv to pay the owners for the damages? For sure you're chayiv. Only this how you have to darshan. If the word nefesh in this passage cannot be explained for mak behema, the ha'inami, because even if he did a damage by overloading it with stones and didn't do a chabur chayiv, he still chayiv to pay for the nazek. So you don't need it so it's not applicable to a behema. Explain it, that it comes to teach you by makkah nefesh adam, that by makkah he's not going to be chayiv misa till he does a car that there's a chabur. So we have here the market that makkah is not going to be chayiv only till he hits his father with a wound. So according to the Maskana, like Keisha Lamali, what do I need the comparison? We're learning it out from Im Eina Inyan. I mean, you want to look at the Tani of Chizkiah. Like the Dasha of Chizkiah, that he made a Dasha just like Mak Behema. There's no chilik if he made a Chabala, B'Shega, B'Mezid. In any case, he's going to be chayiv. So too by Makkah Adam, it doesn't make a difference if he killed B'Shegi or B'Mezid. Just like he wouldn't be chayiv but Mamain if he would have killed him B'Mezid because Kim Leib Ramunei. So too he won't be chayiv any Mamain if he killed B'Shegi. So this answer is only according to the Mandi that holds the din of Tandavei Chizkiah, that he's not mechal between Shegi and Mezid. El Laman, Leslie, Tandavei Chizkiah. But according to Mandi Amma, that doesn't learn the Dasha of Chizkiah, Hekesh Lamali, what do you need the Hekesh for? But the Gemara, Ma Mak Behema, Lerefua Pata, Ap Mak Adam, Pata, Lerefua Pata. Just like Mak Behema, when you hit a Behema for healing, like you let out the blood in order to heal it, so too Mak Adam, you let out the blood in order to heal the person, you make him a wound, he's going to be Pata for Misa even though he made a Chabura. Zag the Gemara, meaning if he made a wound in his father, but he did it for medicine purposes, then he's going to be Pata. Just like by Behema is going to be Pata for the damage, but it was for refuah. The Gemara brings Raya Bein Mausha Yaakov Lavis. The Dam Lav, what's the thing for a son? Could he let out blood of his father? The teachers, the Torah did not ask by only things that a person doesn't want for himself, but something that a person wants for himself, like Hakosas Dam for refuah, it's others can do it. Even you're allowed to do it to others. You're allowed to wound others, even to a father. We learn out from the Hekesh. Just like Makbehim for his potter, Makah for a potter. So too, Makah for is going to be potter. So he learns it out from a Hekesh, and Masna learned it out from a Haftarcha Kamecha. You have to love your fellow Jew as yourself, and since he wants it, you're allowed to do it. That's part of Av's soul. Or from the Hekesh. Anyway, Rav lo yishav l'brei l'mishkali silva. Rav didn't allow his son to take out a splinter. Ma b'reida avinu lo yishav l'brei l'miftadlei kavasa. Mar, the son of Ravina, didn't allow his son to open a wound that he had in order to take out the pus. Dilma chavel, because maybe it'll make a wound by causing blood to come out. V'havelei shigas isa. And then it'll be over on the Isa of Makaviv. By a stranger too, he'll be over of Isa Chayv B'Chavei. Says by causing a Kabbalah in the friend is only a love, but by Benai she gets Chenek. By causing a wound by the father, that's a shaking of Chenek. This that we learned in the Mishnah, Machat Shal Yad, a small needle in which you sew begadim, you're allowed to move on Shabbos, in order to remove a thorn. Why is the Mishnah allow taking out a thorn from the flesh on Shabbos? Let us be afraid he'll do a Kabbalah and it will cause dam to come out. And on Shabbos, that's a Isa Chevla Shabbos is Chayiv b'Mezit Skila. So you're talking about a Isa Skila. So is that Chayiv? From there, you're not concerned. So you want to hasa mekalkalo. It's different. Mekalkalo b'malachas b'Shabbos. He's ruining his part of Miskila b'Mezit u'mikarbon b'Shegeg. Because the Torah didn't answer only on a malacha, which is a malachas b'Shabbos. Kilkul, ruining, is not a malachas b'Shabbos. And therefore, if he's doing Kabbalah through the Machat, we don't have to be worried that he's Ivan Ashigis Isminatera, because if he does, it's a kilkul. Mashenkin by a ben who's Ched Ba'aviv, he says Ivan is a Torah, even though he's being the kalkul. Because if he does a Kabbalah, that's a Isa Torah, Isa Torah, that if it were to be Mezid Yichayev Chanek. So you want to that's only according to the Man Alma that says doing Amalacha that's big kilkul is part. Only according to one that says Makal Shabbos Chayiv Skila. If he doesn't b'meis Ma'ik L'meima, what are you going to say there? Why is one allowed to take out a thorn on Shabbos? The splinter on Shabbos. Why aren't we concerned? Maybe he'll make a Kabbalah b'toes and he'll be able on Shiga Skila. So you want to Shabbos later. The Amma Mekal B'Chabur Chayiv. Who's the one that says Mekal B'Chabur is Chayiv? Reb Shimon. It follows Reb Shimon. Reb Shimon. Ha'Amma Kamalach Sheinu Tzich L'Gufa Patela. Any malach that's not needed for the gufa of the thing is Patela Mashal. Taking out a mace from a house on Shabbos is Amalach Sheinu Tzich L'Gufa. It's not for the mace that the mace has to be in the outside of the house. You're not doing it for the mace purposes. You're doing it for the house. So if it's not for the goof of the mace, so it's not going to be chayv. It's a malach shenisig leguf. Al that the kites, taking out the kites doesn't matter where the kites is. It's not doing it for the kites itself. It's for the person.